Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your hosts Edward McQueen and April Garner.
Here we go, live. Good evening. Welcome to the World Community Magazine live prime time. I'm your host Ed McQueen, and of course, none other than Miss April Garner. We are delighted to have the broadcast today. I mean, every one of our broadcasts is a special broadcast, but we have something coming up on June 23rd through the 25th. And we think it's going to be exciting. We have some very, very important information that we think the community needs to know, and the state and the nation needs to know about something that has just gotten a huge acclaim by even from Congressman Clyburn, and that is the Gullah Geechee scenario. I'm going to say scenario right now, but we got a Gullah Geechee corridor, which was sanctioned some time ago, and Atlantic Beach, historic Atlantic Beach, is playing its part. So we want you all to be a part of it and let you know what's on the upcoming schedule for this. Okay, so let's get right to it. April, we have a couple of guests from the Atlantic Beach Gullah Festival. And this was our point of contact, and she may be heading it, is Miss Pat Mallette. Mm-hmm. Of course, she couldn't be here. Something abruptly came up, and we certainly wish her well. Her speedy recovery. My understanding is she had gotten ill, but we're our prayers out to her so that she can have a speedy recovery. Okay. So, April, let's start with a. She had two well-seasoned substitutes that we're delighted to have, and who's going to give us a good rundown straight from Atlantic Beach. Okay, the Frantic, and we may even have some photos. Will we have April? Will we have time to show any photos of of people, historic photos? We don't have that, do we?
I don't have any geared up. If you have some, send them my way. I'll see if I can pull them up.
Okay. All right. Well, that included a lot of people that we all know. Yeah, all right. Taking at the photography on Atlantic Beach. So let's start into it with Will and Gregory, is labeled there, but Mr. Will Thomas running out with the screen's left, and Mr. Gregory Mallette. These brothers got a lot to talk about in terms of what the upcoming Gullah Geechee festival coming on Atlantic Beach. Why don't you guys just kick it off? We'll start with from left to right. Mr. Will Thomas.
Well, it's going to be an exciting event. We have so many people that's trying to join up with the corridor and with Atlantic Beach, and every day we're at a different meeting or invited to a different town to talk about Atlantic Beach. We've been getting donations, still accepting donations, because there's a lot of people that's coming, really don't have the funds and want to participate. And we tried to make it free so they could join with their arts and crafts, because we're going to have the basket weaving, Gullah Geechee food, arts and crafts. We're going to have a parade that's going to go from the 30s to the 90s, and you could dress in that era. And we're going to have the music from that era up until the 90s. That's when they wanted to cut it off. So that's what we have going on so far. So we're going to have, if people come and you come with a bus, we'll have free bus parking, and we're trying to accommodate everybody that can come, because people are coming from all over.
All right. Look, like I told the audience in the beginning, I can't wait to see something like this. But the Frantic, we used to call it the Frantic Atlantic. So, and Mr. Mallette, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well today, thank you. Let me say this about my cousin Pat. She's the head of the organization,
Right.
and we all are cousins.
Okay.
So I'm a cousin of Pat's from father's side, and Will is a cousin from mother's side. So, and we're all here in Atlantic Beach now. And this whole thing is about honoring our ancestors and where they came from and where we came from. Because when you say Gullah Geechee, we talking at least 80+% of people that came through there, that voyage, that unfortunate voyage. And so we are all Gullah Geechee, practically. So this is honoring all of that. And with Atlantic Beach coming into the fold is expanding the corridor and bringing it all the way up the coast. People are familiar with the Allens and, St. Helena's and stuff like that. But as far as Gullah Geechee spread everywhere.
Can I cut back in one more time?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are Gullah Geechee and don't even know they're Gullah Geechee.
Correct.
Now, when I first got on it, when me and Pat joined the corridor, I didn't know anything about Gullah Geechee. And then one day I was laying in the bed and woke up and said, when I came south every summer, all we did was Gullah Geechee thing. Basket weaving, the season and the roots of the food for when you got sick, the quilt making, all that was Gullah Geechee. But you don't know until you start talking about it.
Right.
And that makes it interesting because I'm born and raised in Philly, but I came south every summer. But my friends who never came south would never know their roots until you start talking about it. People popping up to the beach in their 90s telling us about how they dance on Punk's patio. And we trying to recreate Punk's patio so you can still have that, because the older people say they're going to swing dance and jitterbug until they pass out.
And speaking of that, like even before, along with the Gullah Geechee, when we're talking about Atlantic Beach, we want to touch on a little bit about the history of Atlantic Beach itself. And that started with Mr. Tyson. Mr. Tyson, he was a World War I vet. He had a house in Conway. He had a cleaners in Conway. He had, and a dry cleaners and a laundromat. And in 1934, he purchased 47 acres of land from the oceanfront, from 29th Ave to 32nd Avenue. And in 1941, he purchased 49 more acres from Viola Bell for $600. Now, there was a stipulation in that, of course, how they used to do us in those days, that if he missed one payment, everything would revert back to the people that sold it to him.
Yeah.
So, he was smart though, because he went and he formed a community of doctors and lawyers and educated men that were the heads of colleges and stuff, our original HBCUs, and they formed a company, the Atlantic Beach Company. So you had doctors, lawyers, presidents of the black colleges, and they came and they started businesses there, and they all got together. And during that time, it was segregation. So of course, all of the stars would come down and perform. The musicians, James Brown, Ella Fitzgerald, you name it, Sammy,
Lena Holmes,
everybody
Pearl
came
Bailey.
down. Pearl Bailey, everybody came because Myrtle Beach has always been a destination for vacationers, but they could play there, but they couldn't stay there.
Get off before the sun went down.
Yeah, so that was the destination. So, and at that time, segregation wasn't a bad thing when it came to economics in our community. Because economics was right there. So we had, everybody was there. So everything prospered in Atlantic Beach because of that. You had numerous hotels, you had skating rinks, you had different clubs there, social clubs, you had everything,
We even had a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, sure did have a Ferris wheel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Man. And then in 1966, Atlantic Beach became incorporated, right? So this is one of the only few remaining towns that have a beachfront, that's a black mayor, black council people, and
Our own police department.
own police department, and also that the majority of the residents are black. And you don't see that too much in this country anymore.
Mhm.
So they were able to keep that going even when the outside towns tried to incorporate them. They stood their grounds and they kept Atlantic Beach. So just knowing that history is a part of this whole Gullah Geechee experience that we're putting on. We want everybody to know the history of Atlantic Beach, along with what we're doing. Part of our lineup for the Gullah Geechee Fest, we have Ron Days, who's, if people remember, his family did Gullah Allen, the children's television show, which was an excellent show. And even at the time, his show was the highest rated children's show on television at that time. So we have him. We have Cecil Williams as another keynote speaker. We have James Stevens. We invited out to different dignitaries in the town, the Greek organizations, the churches, community leaders. And we're going to put together a great show. We're going to have a Motown review with the Asher Theater. We're going to have children's literacy presentations, and a lot of other stuff for the children's arts and crafts, jewelry making, face painting. And we also going to have a youth social. We have somebody on the committee that they're going to have the youth social. So we bridge that gap. A lot of times we're doing things and we don't bridge the gap between the older of us and the younger of us and the youth. So we definitely are bridging the gap with what we're doing. We're going to have something for everyone.
Wow, that's fantastic, man. We can't say enough of that. This something like this needs to be repeated because we have a generation that's coming. I mean, that's in back of us. Maybe two generations back. They just don't know. Okay, and it's left up to you guys to propagate. I like to use the word propagate the value of Atlantic Beach and the history of Atlantic Beach. I've got a book. You mentioned you mentioned the Tyson family.
Yeah.
I've got a book. It's called the Atlantic Beach Historical Society.
Yes.
You're all aware of it, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
It's done by Miss Sherry Suttles.
Yeah.
And she has a photo of Miss Tyson, Miss Roxy Tyson. As you can see it there, it's her.
But nobody has Mr. Tyson.
We're still looking. We're looking.
We're looking for that one.
Yeah.
He's from Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, I know. We saved a photo of his house, and we have that framed. Not framed, but we have a larger picture of it. I think we forwarded it, I believe, to Pat.
Yeah, it's in Conway.
Yeah, it's in Conway. Yeah.
Right. The house, I think, is still there.
Huh?
I think the house is still there.
Yeah, we forwarded the photo.
Right,
yeah.
We have it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's great. So we're in sync now.
Yeah.
So, so you mentioned Mr. Cecil Williams will be there to display some of his historical photos. Or
Yes.
He will be there, and he's going to be one of the keynote speakers there, and have his photos there, his historical photos, as you alluded to. Yes, definitely.
Okay, and what building will this take place in? I mean,
he's going to be in the community center.
At the community center. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We got most everything going on the beach, but that wanted him in the community center. But we also had this other lady with artwork that's coming from somewhere, but she's on wheels. Her show is on wheels, but she's coming down. But she'd be in a tent on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're also going to have a free book stand that's going to feature books for all reading levels and feature narratives of people of color. So we're going to have that out there. And we're also going to have different people there that have books that they're going to do presentations and be able to set up their books there. So, and we're also, like with vendors, we're creating a space so that new vendors, new business people that might not be able to afford the rates and stuff as far as it goes to the books and the educational material that will make us, we're going to create a space for them.
Okay, well, you know, that's happy, and that's good to hear, really, that you don't want to leave anybody out. Okay.
Have us eating and sleeping this. We never have a dull moment. Any time or any day, we get at least about 15 texts from Pat. Did you do this? Did you get that? She's all about educating the Black people on our culture and our history. Mm. They had a Gullah Geechee festival over in Conway, and we had to go over there and do a speech there and talked about the Gullah Geechee culture. We had to go up to the rice plantation in North Carolina, and the Freewood Farms. You can hit that one.
Oh yeah, the Freewood Farms. We had the youth from Morehouse.
Oh.
They actually did a Gullah Geechee tour, so they were in the whole corridor, and it was supposed to be at the what was it, the school museum.
Yeah, but what happened?
Yeah, but their itinerary had got messed up that day, but they weren't able to make it to Freewood Farms, and I did a presentation there for them, and they were excited about that, you know, to hear, and even to hear about Atlantic Beach. You know, people hear Atlantic Beach and all they think about is the Bike Fest.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Going there for years and not even knowing that it's such a rich history that came before that, and everyone needs to know about that, and we want to bring it back. Atlantic Beach is more than the Bike Fest. You know, the Bike Fest is nice to have, but we have so much of a rich history. So even during the Bike Fest this year, we're going to be pumping out the message for people to come back and come to the Gullah Geechee Festival. You know, Atlantic Beach is having this, how many times this is now, Will? How many revivals of itself, you know, over the years. This is just the latest one, the latest iteration of Atlantic Beach coming back. And this time it's coming back strong with on an economic level also, you know, because we have Black people that are coming in and they're building nice houses. They're building houses where people are renting out to come and stay in the area, you know, and it's building up fast, and it's going to be a great thing, you know.
Every time we get news, they always downplay it, saying that we never came out of the poverty level. But since 2017, we built over 40 new houses here, and they got about 20 more going to go up. But we always get that we're destitute, and they never recovered after the hurricane.
Well, that's why you got this program.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
See them live.
Yes.
You're only going to find it on a program like this, right?
Right. So we
and that's good information.
Yeah. Have you been to Freewood Farms before?
Absolutely, many times.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Brother Smalls, O'Neill Smalls, is the CEO there.
Yes.
And I'm glad you all are getting very acquainted with that, because there needs to be a lot of interacting in terms of utilizing their service that they have there, and the building.
Yes.
It has. Okay. So when you think of want to have holding an event anywhere in the area, people will go there. They'll come at Freewood Farms. I mean, it's very accommodating, and I think it'll be a great place.
Yeah, I'm happy that you have us on, because even when we have the Bike Fest, we have thousands and thousands of people here. If it's an accident in Myrtle Beach, the first thing they say is extended from Atlantic Beach. They've always given us, and nothing happens here. It could be in Merle's Inlet, and they say from the Atlantic Beach Bike Fest.
Mm.
Yeah, so we're very much so taking the narrative back and putting our own narrative out there of what it is and how it really is. And that's why a show like yours is very important to the community also. so that we control our own narrative and we tell our own story.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be averse to suggest to you that maybe a much stronger PR or during the course of the year could be done regarding Atlantic Beach. Okay, and one of the things that stood out, and one of the things that they kind of pinpointed about what was happening on Atlantic Beach was they called it was the behavior, okay, of the bikers when they came down there. You know, I don't know if we have the resources or not, but that could be addressed.
Yeah, but they do address it, but when they get it, it's kind of twisted around. Yeah, we never, if you notice, nothing really happened during Bike Fest. Not with anybody fighting or anything. That never happened. Only thing we had one time last year, somebody thought it shot a firecracker off and everybody started running, but they turned around before they got to Highway 17 and they was back down there.
Right back to the beach.
Yeah. Didn't skip a beat.
Yeah, and that's what I mean about controlling the narrative, because nothing happens. When I first came I never came to a bike fest until my cousin was living here in Atlantic Beach. And I came to the bike fest and it was I was shocked myself at how many people, and this was COVID, and they still came. And I kept being told that you haven't seen anything yet. Wait till it's not COVID. But it was so peaceful. Not one incident, and people were out there until the crack of dawn. Not one incident.
It's amazing to see the doctors and lawyers line their bikes up in front of each other and sell them right to each other there. You say 100,000 for this one. I'm like, for that, but they sell them just like that on the beach. They show off their bikes. And last year they didn't have the Gullah Geechee, Bike Fest.
Yeah, they didn't have.
And they still had like over 1,000 people showed up.
Yep.
They brought their own entertainment that year.
So we know that with the Gullah Geechee Festival that we're gonna reach a great expanse of people, because when the bikers come from all over, so the messages are going out to them. It's going out to churches in the area. They're coming from far and wide.
Yeah,
right. And we have a committee. Our committee is. Oh man, if you see the list of people that's on the committee, I mean, it's a potent list of people that's committed to making this Gullah Geechee Festival happen, and happen the right way.
And the funniest thing about it, now that we're having this festival, like we got Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach fighting to join us. Myrtle Beach donated us $20,000 for press. So
press?
Press. Then they're gonna do it 50 miles out of Horry County all the way around. So Pat gives them what she wants and where it wants to go, and that's what they do. But they donated $20,000 just for that.
And one thing that we want people to realize, when we're controlling our own narrative, that means we control the economics of it also.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They want to expand. They know that the Gullah Geechee history is a rich history, and they know from the rice that the women brought over and they braided hairs, they didn't know how to grow rice. They needed us to grow rice, So they know that's a rich history, and history is tourism. And they know that this tourism, they have done a study to show that this tourism is worth about $14 billion right now.
Well, I heard the 34 billion figure.
34, 14, maybe I'm mixing it up. You're right, but it's so high.
Yeah.
So that this is something that is important that they want to take advantage of. So we control the narrative, we take advantage of it.
Right.
We need to be a big part of that economics that's coming through this territory. It's all about us. So we should be the ones that's benefiting from it. And the more we're able to get the word out and the more people we're able to bring in, we can establish that.
I like what you said, and I think the audience needs to hear this again about the number of homes that's been built since 2017. Okay, and what is projected to be built for the future.
It's so many that you can't keep up with it. The people now are just waiting on their house plans because 30th Street, they're trying to revise that with the stores, the nightlife, and what the people are doing. They're putting office space on the first floor and rental property on the second floor. And that's what's going on with that. It's really going to be nice because they're trying to get a certain design for the community. We have so much going on, it's hard to keep up with everything. Now, me and Greg have to play tag team to keep up with Pat. Pat runs circles around us.
But
all
even
the
with
time.
that, you said since 2017, we had about 40,
We had 35.
35 new structures go up.
See, a lot of people don't come see, but if you come and see, you'll see the difference.
Yeah.
So are you talking about is this the coastal property, beach property, or it's beyond 17 where
I'm across
on
the
both
street on
sides.
17.
on both sides?
Yes.
I call over here the suburbs,
Yeah.
and across the street is the city.
Oh, okay.
I'm west of 17.
Well, that's good. Hey, let's start that right now, so that kind of information gets out. That these the certain section that's a suburb, and a certain section that you know. I mean, because this kind of information gets to the people who don't live down here.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll know where to go and how to react to something like that.
Right.
When you come here, everybody's going to greet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to greet you.
And right now, even though, you know, real estate everywhere has gone up, land has gone up, but it's still opportunity to come and build here.
Right.
You know, it's still opportunity. And, you know, with a lot of the people who have land here, they're particular about who they want to sell their land to also, you know. So it's like, and like Will said, they're doing both things. You know, we have the residential, we have the commercial. You know, and that's part of that whole thing about the economics, you know,
right.
To be able to have a part in that, you know, and to keep one thing about Atlantic Beach, they're keeping it residential. That was one of the things Mr. Tyson wanted. He didn't want, and he put a stipulation in there that nobody would build on that ocean front. So everybody would have access to it and can see it. You know, right next door, what is that? 31st Street. You have that big condominium building there, you know. They didn't want anything like that that's going to block off the water, you know. It's like you have to go through them to have access to the water.
Absolutely. You know? Yeah.
In 2017, I paid $20,000 for my lot. Now the lots go from $75,000 to $1 million.
Yeah,
this is here in Atlantic Beach.
But you have to think about it though. Sometimes people hear those numbers and they say, "Whoa, that's a lot," but it's a lot everywhere, and it's still
that's everywhere.
Yeah, and when you think about what's coming to the corridor, it's still a great investment.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you might can, if you know an owner, you might can work a deal out with him.
So that's what I say. Come down and look around and talk to people. Come and see. That's right. You need to come and see.
We call it paradise.
Yeah. It's
like,
yeah. The black pearl, the black pearl.
You ever call it the pearl?
The black pearl.
The black pearl.
Home, we said we coming back home to paradise and the black pearl.
Yeah,
there you go.
Call it black pearl for no reason. You know, it definitely is.
That would have choked me if you'd have heard me say that.
One other thing too, like people, when we're talking about the history of it, you know, the same thing with the stars that were coming down to perform in Myrtle Beach, but had to come to Atlantic Beach to stay and the party and stuff. Same thing with the maids. They had a thing that was called Maids Day because all the maids in that were in Myrtle Beach, you know, when their days were off, they didn't have anything to do there.
Absolutely.
They would get on the bus and come down to Atlantic Beach to get off the bus. That's the whole idea with the parade, you know, to do their route, to come there where that bus stopped, and then they came down 30th Street, you know, to the water, to Punk's Patio and all the other places that were there, and party till the crack of dawn, you know, to release all of that energy they had. They didn't have nowhere else to put it. So
nowhere else to put it.
That's right.
And when the people got off the bus, the people who was living here, they said they would start frying onions. So that's the first thing you smell, so you can run to the food.
Onions.
Yeah, you put them onions on so you can smell it.
And I think that's the whole gist of everything now is to bring it back to its former glory. You know, it's people that's been here for years that have held on to what they had because they could see the vision. They didn't sell their property. They didn't just sell the land. They kept it in their families because they could see the future and they could see the vision. They knew one day it was going to come back again. And that's a great thing, you know, that they did hold on to it and they stayed fast. They didn't sell out to the surrounding municipalities or anything. They stayed fast and they kept that vision that Mr. Tyson had from the beginning.
What you just said, what you want to bring back the glory days and make it again. You think we can go with a MAGA hat, make Atlanta great again?
I think you want to retract that, brother. Yes.
Well, you can go to B in there, say MABGA.
We have a hat that say, "Don't forget Atlantic Beach."
That's what I want right there. That's the hat. That's it.
Don't forget
Atlantic Beach, the future.
So, Brother Eric, we have a lot of wonderful commenters tonight, and I just want to acknowledge them because to Will and Gregory's point, there are people from all over the country who should come in for this festival. And tonight we have people from all over the country who are actually watching this broadcast, and we certainly hope that they will make plans to come to the Gullah Geechee Festival in Atlantic Beach. So Josephine Burgos, she is in Charlotte. She said have fish sandwiches at Gladys Buffet and danced at Punk's Patio. So she knows about the history. We also
pictures she can send us.
He's asking for pictures, Clee, if you have any pictures. He's asking for pictures.
Because we want to take and put them around the patio.
Ah, okay. All right. And then Janice Gilliard out of New Jersey is watching tonight. My newfound cousin. Hi, Janice. She says, "Oh, Atlanta Beach. That's where we went as kids. Thank you for what you're doing." And she's putting it on her calendar. She's checking her calendar coming from New Jersey. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, we're going to make Atlantic Beach that you could bring your kids to where you went as a kid. That's what it's coming back to.
There we go. Jolene Hatcher, thank you for watching tonight. She says her mama shop, Miss Gladys Buffet. Okay. It's connected to the stepfather's family. Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of history going on here because, Janice is a African-American genealogist and she is a history buff. So she's probably taking all of this in, trying to connect the dots. So that is awesome. Miss Marjorie. Miss Margie McIver, truly informative. Thank you. We also have Coretta Small. She's watching tonight. She has roots in Burgess, and I think Coretta may be in Greenville now. So, Coretta, thank you for watching. We really do appreciate your comments as well. We also have April O'Leary, who is actually, I won't call her new to the Horry County area, but she has done some amazing things in Horry County since she and her family had moved here. And she wanted to know what were the suggested years for dressing. And I think you mentioned that earlier. Was it the 30s to the 90s or is 30s to the 90s? Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, so the older the better.
The older the better. Okay. All right. So yeah, we have a lot of great viewers tonight. Miss Priscilla wants to know, and Miss Priscilla Fuller, of course, is one of our loyal viewers. How do we make people more aware of this rich history? What do you think should be done?
We're trying now by publicity, word of mouth. Once this festival get kicked off, we're not going to really have to spread it because people are going to spread it, the ones that come.
And not only that, but you do have, Atlantic Beach itself organization, and it'll be more words going out through them. And then you're going to have this organization that's here and all the people that's in Atlantic Beach. We're going to continually put the word out. Like I said, we are going to control the narrative here. We're not going to let it be controlled anymore by anybody else. It was funny when I first came here. And my cousin was telling me about the history, and I'm one of those people that just a natural researcher. And I started researching, and I was like, wait a minute, who put this on Wikipedia? And so we're about to challenge that. Like, how did they put this on here about this nonsense that's on here on this page? And then I look and I compare it because I'm about to do a challenge to Wikipedia because I was comparing it to Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, all the way down Murray's Inlet, Surfside. And I don't see anything negative in their narrative because it was something about a crime that didn't even happen here.
Wow.
And I said, oh, okay. this is what you want to try to do on the page that's about Atlantic Beach. But if you don't, Wikipedia, if you don't have that on the page for Myrtle Beach and Surfside Beach or any other of this ocean front, then you're not going to have it in Atlantic Beach either. So I'm making that my mission to get that taken off of there. You know, that's how we control our narrative. We put it out ourselves, and we check others who try to, you know, infiltrate and put negativity to something that doesn't belong there.
You know what, Will and Greg, because there's a huge number of people who haven't seen those historical photos that you were talking about putting around Punk's Patio and other places. Maybe we're going to schedule you guys, and including Miss Mallette, to just show all those photos on one of our broadcasts. Okay, what do you think?
I think that'd be great. And also, right now on our Facebook page, you'll see some of the photos there. We're adding them. We're continually adding them in and updating because we're getting photos for people. And some of the photos that we already have, we have to get permission. You know, we want to do it the right way. You know,
absolutely.
So we're getting permission for them. And as we move on, because if you come to our Facebook page, you'll be able to go to our website for the Gullah Geechee organization and fest, and you'll see stuff continually being updated, and we'll make sure we get that word out. And those
okay, we'll talk about that. We should have one dedicated just before the festival.
Yes, that'd be great.
We'll have one dedicated to show people. But believe me, because there's a lot of people who want to see that kind of memorabilia. Okay, they want to see photos like that, and because they've changed so much, they might even see themselves on there. You know, taking photos that they took photos a long time ago.
That happened during Bike Week when we had to tell your history of Atlantic Beach.
Right.
We had people tell who was here, what they did, and we had photos too. And we still have them.
Well, like I said, we have residents here who have been here for ages. You know, we actually have one of our residents that's about to be. Was he honored already? He's about to be honored.
Not yet. He's going to be.
He's about to be honored. Mr. Skeeters.
Mr. Skeeters. Yeah.
Right. Brown Skeeters. He's about to be honored.
As one of the historians.
Yes. So we make sure that we have that, and we'll be able to post that also.
Okay.
Because he has. When I first met him, I got him talking, and he just talked for like an hour.
He can talk. He can talk.
But it was such a great thing to hear somebody that was here. Same thing with Miss Brenda. People that were here, you know, that are still alive and they're still here and they're still thriving. You know, and it's a rich history here.
We're gonna feature an interview with Mr. Skeeters. It's coming up. Okay. It's scheduled. It is scheduled, and we'll have it one way or the other, either by video of what we've done already or live. Okay. But he's scheduled.
Oh, that's great.
Because he is to some people, he is Atlantic Beach. I mean, in terms of age groups.
Don't say that too loud. Because there's somebody to challenge you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You gotta whisper that.
Right. And hopefully he's listening to this. I'm sure he is. So, but Will and Greg, do you have anything, any thing that's scheduled other than the festival that's coming up in I keep calling it a festival that's coming up in June? Are you all scheduling anything beyond that during the same year, during 23?
Not yet, but people been calling, wanting to do things at the beach. Lady called me, a young fella called me today. He wanted to have some kind of show on the beach. And I told him he had to go through the proper changes, go through the community, go through the town hall, and see if he could hold that event here.
Okay, if it were a concert, that would have to be held outside, right? Down there. Yeah. You don't have a venue. I don't believe that's.
Well, what they did one year, they had a tent, but the only tents that could go on the beach is a 60 by 40?
60 by 30.
No, the 60 by 40.
Yeah.
Because the structure of the sand won't hold it.
Right.
They can blow the tent away.
Right.
So, but all the companies know that now.
Yeah. But as the word is getting out more and more, is more people who want to come and take advantage of it. You know, when they see it, they've always gone to Myrtle Beach. They've always gone to all these other places that's not of Black communities. And now that the word is getting out more, they want to come. They want to come back, and they want to do stuff here. You know,
Right.
recently guys did a car show, you know, so it's different things that's happening and going on independent of our organization. But as Will said, you know, coming through the town is it's the same thing. It's Atlantic Beach, you know. It's like we want Atlantic Beach to be utilized. We want the economics to come in Atlantic Beach, you know. And
Okay, is there any one person, I wouldn't say for lack of a better word, that can speak for the bikers before they come down, that you all can communicate with?
Talk to Pat Mallette, because we had a problem that when the bikers wanted to see who was the oldest bikers that came here,
Right.
that stirred up a whole can of worms. Pat knows who's who.
Yeah.
We said, this guy said, no, he was the first biker that put his foot and his wheels on the beach. Pat know exactly who they are.
And it's people like Mr. Skeeters that knows this. You know, the Bike Fest was the first one was 43 years ago. That's a long time. This is gonna be the 43rd annual Bike Fest here. 43rd.
Wow. Wow.
So it's a lot of people that's out there wasn't even born yet when they was having Bike Fest down here in Atlantic Beach.
But Pat has all the contacts who you could speak to for the bikers.
Yeah, because that would be interesting, you know, to have that kind of contact, and then you start putting not just putting restrictions, but you know, you have some very smooth logistics in order to, and be creative a lot, because I'm sure new bikers are joining their ranks, as well as new people coming to Atlantic Beach, and people come with bright ideas. You know, I put a lot of value on that.
Before they put on the show, the biker leaders meet down here first.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they come in early. Yeah, they come in.
Early.
They'll be here Tuesday,
and then they decide
Wednesday.
what they're going to do. But it's fascinating to see it.
Yeah, it is.
It's really amazing.
And it's amazing. I mean, as far as the logistics and everything, and the police present from the town, because of course it's a small township, but the other municipalities, they contribute their offices and stuff. And it's like I said, I was amazed. I left that morning, and it was about maybe 4:30 in the morning, and I went up to 17, and I didn't know that everybody just left the beach, and now I went to 17, and I got there, and there was thousands of people out there. I was like, oh my God, it's still going strong, you know?
For me to go 2 blocks and cross the street to go on the other side walking, it takes me an hour.
Yeah, and they really have it set up.
10 minutes.
Because when you leave during bike week, when you leave Atlantic Beach, they spin everybody north. So when you come out, there's only certain ways you could come out, and they make you go north and go up, and then you could come around and come back down, you know. So they have everything set up well. They definitely do. I must say that.
Yeah, well, you know, the information that you guys are conveying to our audience, some of the stuff is just new, you know, like, you know, but encouraging. I like to hear the thing about the houses that have been built and the ones that are projected.
They're beautiful homes.
Yeah, man, I think that's very encouraging. I really think so. And
yeah, when you come when you look on the website, you're gonna see some of them homes on there, and it's like, I mean, a lot of the homes, they're 3 stories. There's elevators in them. There's pools in the back. Movie rooms, and it's one house there. 22 people. You know, so when they Airbnb it out, people get together and they, you know. I was telling someone this, and they were like, when I told them, they was like, well, how much is it? And I told them, they was like, that seemed like a lot. And I was like, think about it. I said, when you come down here in the summertime, try to get a hotel room and tell me that's a lot then.
When the mortgage payment right there.
It'll cost you $500, $600 for one night.
Yeah, that's right.
So I said, put it in perspective and then come back. And they was like, oh, yeah, now I know what you're saying. That is better. And I said, yeah, and then you're not at a hotel with all these other people, you in your own private residence for the time that you here, and the beach is right in front of you.
And
you know,
Atlantic Beach made the most money for rentals than anybody up on this end. Like we outdone North Myrtle Beach with a blink of the eye on how much our residents made off of their properties.
And that's a great thing. And that's why I was saying it's still a great investment opportunity.
Wow. So so can you, if you want, can you share this with us, at least with me anyway, about the tax structure there on Atlantic Beach? Are the taxes high? Would you consider them high? Real estate taxes?
Yes.
They're high. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put some perspective in there so that the viewers.
They're trying to adjust that now with all the revenue we having coming in.
Right.
We're working on that.
And that's why it's important, and it's happening, that the commercial aspect comes into it to offset the property taxes for the residents. You know, that's why that's also very important.
That's what I was getting to. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the new construction that's going to be going on moving forward is going to be commercial. You know, it'll be a mixture, so that'll offset some of that. And as the economics come in, of course, everything goes down. You look at the rest of. I live down on the other end in Merle's Inlet, and the taxes down that way are lower because of you getting from the tourists coming in. You're getting all that revenue. They're getting it from them, so they don't have to get it from you. You know, so we need to take advantage of that same structure and have the commercial built up here, and that's happening.
Let me just reverse a little bit and go back to the festival. One of the speakers schedule is Mr. Cecil Williams.
Yes.
Okay. Are you all familiar with him very much? And what he has to offer?
We are now.
Okay. He has his museum, Black Museum,
right,
in Orangeburg, and I implore you to at least go there and check it out if you've never been there. After you see it, you're gonna probably want to take him by his arm and bring him to Atlantic Beach right quick, like. Okay.
That's on Pat's calendar for us to go there.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely gonna make a trip there. But when we heard about him and we found out who he was, we thought that was important to have a historian like that to be a part of the program. Definitely.
Right. And if I don't know what media arrangements are being available, but the magazine is involved with that, and I think that what's going to be available during the festival will be some projections on what he has inside the museum. Okay.
Yes.
So we can tell our viewers that, and in addition to or running concurrently with what he's speaking on. Okay. So, man, I don't know. Today, this information that you all are sending out, I guess what is free also, right? This is free 99.
Yeah, it's free. The beach is free. See, and let me not leave that out of it, right?
Right.
It's the beach too. So you were coming to the festival, and that includes the beach. So in between the things that are going on, you have the beach available to take advantage of. The ocean is right there in front of you.
You know, I noticed those sand dunes, man. They're pretty huge there, but more than what I've seen as you move from Atlantic Beach going down into Myrtle Beach.
Well, normally when the storm comes, every North Myrtle Beach flood and Myrtle Beach flood, but we never flood
because of those dunes. Yeah. So and they're making sure they keeping them built up too. So that's a good thing.
That's awesome.
It's like awesome. The sand is getting thrown up on there.
Well, that's it. It may be divinely done.
All right, that's what Pat says all the time.
It could be divinely done. You're being looked after. Being looked after. So, if you guys don't, if you brothers don't have too much more to say, you're probably going to think about it when after you leave all the broadcast. But we're certainly glad that you were able to substitute for Pat. I'm going to say substitute. Okay, I know you've done a fantastic job as if you're not part of it. But the information is valuable, and I implore our audience to make sure that they attend this on June 23rd, that Friday through the Sunday of June the 25th. It's also Juneteenth is around that time.
I think that's June the 19th.
June 19th, yeah. I think. So that's fortunate. I mean, we can all enjoy all of that during this same time.
Yeah.
We was going to have that last year, but I don't know what happened. Too much was going on.
Yeah, at the same time, too fast coming. And I like to say that this is not the first in Atlantic Beach of a festival of this type. It's just the latest.
The latest. Okay.
It's just the latest, and we anticipate having it ongoing.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So what you know, it looks like you're well entrenched onto that, and you know, you seemingly you've answered all questions, and you've got that knowledge as if Pat was there. We certainly wish her a speedy recovery. Really.
Well, we're around her so much that it's rubbing off.
It's picking up. Oh, let me just say one more thing that we talked a lot about Friday and Saturday, but also on Sunday, that's the last day, and from 9 to 10 is going to be a beachside prayer and libations with Gullah Geechee program.
Right.
Poetry from Zenobia Harper, and Chain's going to come theme praise dance that's happening on that Sunday from 9 to 10.
All right, and that will be at the center itself.
No, that's going to be on the beach.
Cul-de-sac.
Yeah, on the cul-de-sac on the beach there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's going to be outside. And I mean, and this is in flux right now. So some of the things we talked about are going to happen, but it's going to be a lot more stuff added to it as we get closer. You'll see on the website and on the Facebook page more stuff added to the itinerary. Some things may overlap, so everybody might not want to go to the same thing. You know, when you go to festivals, they have this happening at this time, and you pick and choose what you want because it's so much coming together and so many people that want to be involved. You know, we're trying to make space for as many as we can.
Yeah, you know, I know you're going to have some fantastic food there. You know, I know that but we're going to see who has the best snowballs.
All right.
Greg.
I was like, Greg. All right, man. So look, you guys, it's been a blast here, and certainly wish you well. And again, to our viewers, try and meet that, save up your time for that particular event, June 23rd through the 25th, starting that Friday evening. At what time is starting it on Friday, by the way?
Friday is what do we have here? 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. is the
5 p.m.
Yeah, it's a meet and greet and a social sponsor social on Friday for the sponsors and meet and greet from 5 to 8.
5 to 8.
Yeah. And like I said, this is kind of in flux. They're still putting it together. So before this month is out, we'll have it all, you know,
finalized.
Yeah.
Look, we're gonna have you. We're gonna have you again. Again. We're gonna show some of those photos, man. Some people, so they can see. You know, have a lot of people across it because this is going across the nation. Okay, around the world. Okay, and you have a lot of us who's in the army and services, all in Germany and places like that, and they want to see themselves back in. They're gonna see that their mom was in Atlantic Beach. And Dad.
And I'll also send you guys a slideshow that we have put together, and so you'll be able to see the you know, it's a lot of pictures on there about the new houses and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely! Oh, great!
I'll send that to you.
All right. So let's look forward to that just before the festival is okay, and we'll try to have you guys back on maybe a week or two before.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you all for sharing that information, man, because that needed to be shared, okay, with such rich history like this. So, again, just have a move forward with God's speed and
a snowball.
Yeah,
and snowball.
A snowball. Grape is my favorite, by the way.
All right.
I like the cherry and the grape mix.
That's everybody.
All right.
All right. So to our viewers, we're sorry we're out of time, and we'll see you all again, our viewers, next week, same time, 7 p.m. next Tuesday. And God willing, we'll be there for you with more information that you all can use. All right.
Okay.
So
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner.